welcome to another Super Not Gay episode of If This Doesn't Work. I'm here with my guest, Jeff.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Justin.
Full name, Jeffrey?
Full name, Jeffrey.
Solid. You're not named after anyone?
Dahmer.
Sick.
Yeah.
I know him. I know of him.
You know
I didn't
of
have
him.
the pleasure.
Yeah, he had a good appetite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a lot of your traits from him, you think?
I ate my way out of my mom.
Yeah.
That's how I got here.
Haven't
so
stopped
They're like,
since.
Jesus, this is a Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Jeffrey. Aptly
Sorry,
named.
Mom.
We were actually just talking about the double slit experiment, which I don't know that the average person knows of. We're talking about the observer effect. Basically, I've been saying that the people, I'm going to go ahead and call people out, that if you are not afraid, if you don't want to come on the podcast, and the reason is because of your spouse or your job, what are we doing? I mean, what do you think you're going to come on here and say? First of all, you're in charge of what you're going to say. You know, you should be able to control what you're saying. And then it's like, you're not living that much of a lie. It's not like you're going to come here and be like,
Say puppy.
puppy?
So I'm in charge.
Just so we know who's in charge around here. Yeah, if you can't come on, what we were saying is the last guest we had on, should I change my shirt?
Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad
this is
thing.
how this
Change my
goes.
shirt.
Okay, I'll get started. I guess I go first.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah, it's humid.
I did just record an episode in this exact outfit, so let me just talk.
It's not hot. It's just so my restaurant was the same. We had the AC cranking, and it was actually kind of cold. But when it's this humid, it doesn't matter how cold it is. You can't sweat because your body doesn't.
There's no difference or what?
Well, the higher the humidity, the wetter the air. So what your body needs is for it not. The less the humidity, the more you sweat. When it's
Does that
super.
make sense because the humidity's taking care of it for you by making you wet?
No, your skin already thinks you're sweating, so you're not able to release the heat. That's actually why you see people in the deserts wearing like shit all around their head, and it's 100 degrees here in the middle of the Mojave Desert. They do that because to stop from sweating. Sweating is how you release your heat. It's also how you lose your water. So anyway, where I work was hot as fuck. Even though the thermostat said 71, but the air was so damp that we were all sweating. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So should I restart and be like, hey, welcome back to, honestly, keep it all in there when I'm like, should I change my shirt? And then we'll just cut to
just
this.
like, fuck it. Let's just
Yeah,
make
we'll
it
just cut to this. We'll make it work in
Shirt
post.
change, 2
Yeah,
podcasts
keep it
a
easy.
day. That's how it goes,
We'll
you
make
know?
it work in post.
We'll get better as we grow.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're doing good. We're consistent.
We're
So
showing the growth.
we were talking about the observer effect. And it's basically like you can't measure something without measuring it.
Well,
and
you change-
measuring it changes the properties of it or something.
Yeah, so the experiment I was telling you was I saw this experiment where they told one guy to walk on this treadmill and just walk normal, and he walked normal, and then they told a second guy,
The same thing.
they told him the same thing. He looked the same build, same weight, but they put a pretty girl in the room, and she was sitting in a chair, and she had a clipboard and was pretending as if she was observing, but what they showed was him walking, and then they put the video side by side in a double split, and you could visibly see that we strut, kind of peacock.
Yeah.
Even though both guys were just told nothing other than to walk.
Yeah.
By being observed, it changed our
They
behavior.
didn't even know what the experiment was about. They're like, hey, we're just going to do this walking experiment. And his whole walk changes when there's a woman in the room.
Yeah.
And so you can't change. So I was just saying, like, one of the last guests we had on, he asked if his girl could come and just hang.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm with that. Like, yes, she's absolutely, like, welcome to come. I just want to let you know, full transparency, I do worry that you'll know that she's here the whole time, right?
100%.
And not that you're a liar when she's not around, or like, not that you're lying when she's here. I'm not going to, it's just the fact that you know. It's like you might not get as vulnerable. Maybe you don't cry, or maybe you don't make the joke. That would be fine. It's like, and you're not, I don't know. I get that people.
No, observation totally changes behavior.
You're going to change it. You're going to just
But
change it a
even if
little.
they don't make the joke, they'll be a second slow because they're processing those.
They're having that
thoughts
extra thought.
Yeah, like you're, like I said, you were on it to think.
It's just an extra thought to think about. Well, I'm very like in tune. One thing that's feminine about me is I'm very big on like people's energies.
Oh, nice.
More than like things, like material things. I just pick up on like people and how they're feeling, and I'm very interested in the way the brain works and like why people are doing what they're doing. But yeah, the double slit experiment is the one where they if you don't know about the double slit experiment, look it up. I'm not smart enough to explain it. There's like two slits and they shoot protons,
Yeah,
photons
photons, and
through the slit,
yeah.
and they have a certain pattern. When you shoot it through the slit, the way they hit the back wall is in a certain arrangement and a certain array. And when you're looking at them,
But the way they shoot it is random. So they're hitting. So the slits, the ones that get through the slits, make that same slit pattern on the wall behind it. But it's almost more like they're spraying both slits. So the ones that are hitting, so they're not all getting through. So it just shows that the ones that get through will follow the pattern. And then they did it without us observing it at random. And the pattern was different. And they did it. They kept doing it. They couldn't figure it out. And then they realized our observation actually changes
how they interact
the reality
on an elemental level, on a fucking atomic level. Like the protons are, it's whether they act as a particle or a wave. Is
right?
The whole thing.
Yeah, it's about waves.
And basically they're in this like superposition in quantum physics where it's like it's either one.
Right.
It's whatever one it needs to be. But the fact that our observing of it, even with equipment or with our eyes or whatever, it changes the way that the science itself works, is bizarre to me. That's like the closest thing to magic I've ever heard.
I don't know. I once watched, I saw Peter North in this video, right? And there was like 6 of
For those who don't know, Peter
Porn
North.
star?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was
the-
gonna
the
try
Peter
to.
North.
Yeah, he was in a
Try
movie
to.
with like 6 people. And every single one of them was doing something at the same time. And it was a 41-minute clip. And I'm like, I don't even understand. It was borderline gay. Like, how have you not exploded?
I make that joke sometimes if I don't come right away, or like I take a little while, and a girl's like, how do you, like, what's your trick? I'm like, I'm gay.
Yeah, and then they try harder.
Yeah, I'm gay.
Yeah.
The whole thing is I'm gay, so I can control when I want to come.
Yeah. The problem is if you say that to a guy that is having sex with you, he doesn't stop.
No, yeah. No, they don't
No.
want to stop.
No, I don't can't. Well,
Have you ever injured yourself having sex?
yes.
How?
Reverse cowgirl, and it came out, and she didn't know that.
Oh,
It wasn't a snap. It was just a hard bend.
Squash.
It was a squash,
Mm.
but it hurt. It hurt enough that
Ugh.
I had to finish and then put some ice on it.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
gonna finish up.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But god damn,
Trooper.
yeah,
painful.
yeah, it hurt. But I have seen someone get hurt during sex with me, but they did that to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had it coming.
No, she put anal beads in herself, and she told me to pull them out, and I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, okay,
Oh no.
yeah. it
Like
was
you were
pretty-
starting a lawnmower.
I wouldn't have known either.
I didn't know.
to
I
be
didn't know you're
fair.
supposed to,
Slow.
I didn't know that
Slow
this
and
was
steady.
foreplay. I was like, yeah, here you go.
Oh,
Right,
you
like,
leave this out.
But anyway, that was a true story. That was mind changing, and I actually stayed away from toys forever from then.
Really?
Yeah, once you see someone hurt and you're like, did I do that? You told me to do it. Like I didn't. I was like, nope.
Can be traumatic.
Well, toys don't really work on guys. It's, it's for girls.
I bought a prostate vibrator at one point, a G-spot stimulator.
Really?
Or a P-spot
Did it work?
stimulator. So yes, really, and no, it didn't work.
Wait, do you use it during?
So you can use it whenever, right? I chose to, I didn't really want to spring that on a girl, So I chose to try it myself, and it just was weird and uncomfortable. I heard it's like an acquired taste, like to get into it. And it's like, I've heard that you can come extra hard back there or from back there, but I didn't give myself enough space to explore,
Yeah.
I guess it's like the latent homophobia in me, because not that I'm homophobic, but the culture is. It's like, because the only trepidation I have to that seems the gay part, because I'm like, I want to come hard. But the only part I don't.
I think I know. How old are you?
34, about to be 35.
Yeah, so you're a little younger than me, but that kind of got built in pretty hard in the 80s and 90s.
The homophobia?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I won't even repeat it, but like there were games that you'd play with your friends that had those words in it. and it
Smear
was-
the queer.
Smear the queer.
Smear the Queer is one
I'll
of them.
say 'em.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
didn't think about it in that way, really.
no, but I mean, it was what
It
it was.
was,
It
though,
just
like, when you
wasn't.
think
It
of
didn't
the
hurt my
words.
feelings to smear some queer who's my best little buddy.
Right,
we both have
exactly.
we both have a crush on the same girl.
I just thought of it as like the weakest for I
Well,
didn't think of it in
Well,
like
that's
terms
the
of
that's
I
what
was
they
too
don't
young.
like though.
Right,
That
well,
makes
that's
it
where-
wrong.
you're right,
That's
you're
where it
right,
came
you're
from.
right.
But like you said, it's my buddy. It's
Right.
just my buddy.
It
But I
meant
totally get
it
looking
meant
back
nothing bad.
how like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys are attacking and hurting the person who's like
Yeah.
me.
And it became even worse when we got older and he became a queer.
Oh
So,
shit!
I'm like, did I smear that into you, or was that already there?
Yeah, self-fulfilling destiny.
Yeah.
Did you
Divine
graduate-
intervention, I think they call
Did
it.
you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Dude, sick.
Did you?
No. Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Did you get drunk?
Like just now? Yeah.
At college? Did you
Oh.
go away for it?
Yeah, so I went to the University of Ritchie Highway, and I was drunk sometimes on my way there.
Do you know Brittany Girl Dale?
Who?
Brittany Girl Dale?
Brittany Girl Dale.
No?
No.
You know Brittany Girl Dale?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay.
Damn.
Is she
Ritchie
the one who
Highway.
is she the one who got around Anne Arundel Community College or what?
She's the one who like dresses up as Britney Spears as a man. She was like
It's
homeless
a
on Ritchie Highway.
cross-dresser. I
Cross-dresser.
always would see her.
No,
in Brooklyn
I've never
Park
seen
or
that.
whatever.
You missed out.
You ever seen Bagman in Annapolis?
Tell me more.
Oh my God, this guy. So he's a big, lanky. I'm sure insane homeless, but he's a big, giant black guy, and he's Bagman. And it's not for any original reason other than the fact he always has a large trash bag completely open, and he walks up and down all around like West Street. And
Is he picking up trash?
no, he's just walking with a. He can't let it. It's part of his retardation.
It's like a tick.
Like
a comfort bag.
Yeah, something like that. But there's never anything in it. But he walks like this, and he walks up and down. I haven't seen him in. He's probably
Dead?
gone.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him in probably 12 years. But from like 16 to 24, I couldn't go to Annapolis and not find Bagman.
Really?
Yeah.
I
swear to God.
wonder how many bags he had. Like if it was the same bag, I wonder how long you have to change that. You know, probably some wear and tear after a while.
Yeah. Well, I always just figured when it's time to take his emergency shit, he'd have his bathroom in his hand, and then he just buy a new bag.
Yeah.
Who knows though?
You see people walking with shit bags for their pets, so it makes sense. He just got one giant shit bag for himself.
Yeah, I've seen a pet walk with a shit bag. It was a bad neighbor, but he was a total shit bag. So when I lived in the city, I moved out back in August. I was in the city for 4 years. I lived in Mount Vernon, like a mile from the harbor, and
Mount Vernon is the gay part of the city, no?
yeah, totally. But
Did
that's
you know
what
that?
yeah,
I did not.
I didn't
Yeah.
until I told all my friends I was moving there, and they're like,
Everyone's-
"Oh, so divorced and moving to Mount Vernon? We're your buddy anyway." And I was like, "You pieces of shit, kiss me."
So like, do
So-
they have less crime there or more crime?
Less,
Because
far
they're
less.
like,
So not only did everyone use trash cans, so there's no garbage, they actually had people in the mornings every other day picking up whatever cigarette butts, sweeping.
Scooping up the cum off the
Everyone you
streets.
walk by though was dressed in their work or school attire. It was a very safe neighborhood, and it was like probably 4 blocks, probably a good 6 blocks in each direction you could go to completely comfortably with a girl holding hands at night. And you, I mean, you got to be smart and keep your head on a swivel.
Sure.
But I only had 2 problems ever when I lived in the city. I should have had 3. I brought one. I went to a dangerous part just to see if I could do it, and I got scared.
You went to a part intentionally?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. But anyway, so the 2 were both from just drunk guys who didn't have any money, but they were clearly drunk, and both of them were in Federal Hill. That was where people, if you can walk around fine in my neighborhood. Once you get to Federal Hill, you got to be kind of careful.
Yeah.
Federal Hill is not as safe as everybody thinks.
And everyone's blackout drunk, too.
Right. I mean, like I said, both these guys were wasted. They weren't going into bars. They didn't have any money. They were, bums. But a bum who's drunk has nothing to lose, and your ass to gain. So, one time I was living there for like a year. I told my cousin, who was my roommate, we were on the 8th floor of an 8-story apartment building, a mile from the harbor, and I had a skyline view of the city. I really liked it. And when COVID happened, they couldn't raise prices, so we were living well cheaper than we should have. And I'd been there for and it was a corner unit too. And the people before us knocked down the apartment that before it, so that door was cemented off. So when you walked in, you go into one apartment, but the kitchen was the middle, and then you got another apartment.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was a big place. I mean, for the city. So I told her, I'm like, you know what? We always walk to the harbor. We always go south. I won't go too far north, because once you go past Mercy Hospital, it gets, a little shady. I'm like, I've never gone east. I've never been to East Baltimore. Not really. I've driven through it, and I've seen what it looks like. I'm like, so let's go to North Avenue, which is just past Penn Station. She's like, you sure? I'm like, it's 2 PM. She's like, I'll go with you, but let's go. And she said it like that kind of. I was like, what the fuck? So we start walking, and everything's like I've ever seen. And then we finally get to a couple blocks that I'm not usually in, and then we get to North Avenue. And as soon as I walked out, there's this sign the size of this basement, a billboard, and it says, defund the police, fuck the police. And it's not spray painted. Someone bought that space.
Yeah. That's funny too. That someone's like advertising it.
Like you have enough money to fix your life, but you'd rather just attack. So then you're in. So I was like, oh wow. So I look and every corner's got 3 to 7 people, which is not like Mount Vernon. Everyone's walking fast in Mount Vernon. Everyone's moving. You'll go walk past the stoop and someone will be talking to a neighbor or a friend or someone they've met. But for the most part, everyone has an agenda, even if it's just to drink and have fun. I saw just all these groups. So I said, all right, let's walk down there. We'll turn left on Charles Street and we'll head back to our apartment. I lived on St. Paul Street. So we had to walk through a corner, and this one had about 8 people, 8 or 9. And they're all talking and then they stop, but they don't move. They all just no one's facing me. And we walk through it. And I'm like, you ever get that, that the adrenaline you get when you know you're in trouble, but you can't see where it is or why, but you can sense that something's wrong.
Oh yeah.
That adrenaline was pumping hard. And I'm with a girl, my 20, I guess she was about 23 at the time, 24. I'm with my cousin. So we walked through that and my heart's racing. I said, just go left here. She's like, well, that's Charles Street. I said, I don't care. We'll go left and then right. It wasn't an alley. It was just a little like side parking. And we get like 3 more blocks up and all of a sudden the crowd's dissipated and then we're back to normal. And Molly's like, the only reason they didn't rob you is because they couldn't tell why you would do that. And they thought you were there to get them in trouble. And I was like, that's the scariest thing I've ever been told in my life. She's like, she's like, I got scared. I couldn't say anything because if we would have turned around, they would have chased us.
Yeah.
So we had to walk through it.
Yeah.
And it was a moment of like levity got like released. Like I was naive. It was my first experience of realizing I'm a white dipshit going into a neighborhood where they don't like me and there's drugs, and I don't have any and I don't want any.
Yeah. And it's not even so much the dislike, right? It's the come up. You might have money.
Well, that's 100%.
Yeah.
And I was dressed. I mean, I wasn't dressed up. It was just a sunny day, but I was wearing clothes. I was, I wasn't wearing, something that looked like 4 people took off one article of clothing and one person put all 4 of them on. So anyway.
How long did you live up there?
4 years. Almost 4 years.
So no real bad incidents.
No. I saw a couple cool things, but. No, I never. And I mean, I put myself in some situations. I mean, I'm talking like I was over past Fed Hill and I walked a couple miles. I went to a strip club with some people that probably going to see this video. And
shout out to the strip club people.
Yeah, and we got out real late, and they're like, "All right, we'll take an Uber to drop Jeff off, and then and they're like mapping out who gets dropped off where." I said, "Fuck that!" I said, "I'm walking." They're like, you can't walk home from here, man. That's like 2 miles. I said, "I'm fine." And I walked by some people. I always had a buck knife. I was never gonna. You can't use it in a one-on-one fight, but if you get dragged into a alley, like if you're fighting for your life, then you can save yourself. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, I've got this. Meanwhile, I've never stabbed anything, other than a woman in the heat of passion.
Just for our information, buck knife, not a fold-out knife, like a straight knife, like.
No, buck knife relates to the. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't know a lot about knives.
So buck knife relates to the shape of the curvature and the length of the blade. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like most people, like hunters, carry buck knives. Like they can flip it open, but it's strong enough that it can cut the fur or the hide.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Got it.
It can circumcise an elephant.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're circumcised? You cut?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
It's a great cut too.
This is a nice
yeah, he was on his game. It was awesome. Well, because like I'll watch porn and I'll be like, Jesus, what was the fucking guy cross-eyed when he cut this guy? Like he's.
It's a lot of power we're entrusting them with to shape the dicks. They're dick sculptors, really.
Yeah. Can you imagine the pressure of the first one that they have to do when you take that cigar cutter and you got this little baby screaming?
Cigar cutter.
The mom's passed out. The dad's throwing up, and he just takes that little piece of hot dog.
It all seems pretty traumatic to me.
I loved it. It's my first memory. As soon as he got rid of it, I was like, thank God. That thing was heavy. I mean, it was a lot of
tough to carry that.
It was a
around
lot
all
of
day.
trunk. Yeah. But it's gone.
So you were married and divorced?
Was married and divorced.
Was married. Oh, so you'll always be divorced then?
Unless I get married again.
Right. How was that?
Which part?
The divorce.
Now, awesome. Not because of just like you could, obviously, the bachelor life was something I missed all through my 20s. I got married early. I met my ex-wife at 19. We moved in together at 20. We moved away to Myrtle Beach at 22. I mean, we'd been together. We got married at 25. She was 26, 27, 20. Who knows? But, so a long story short, and we were married for 4.5 years. So all of my 20s was dedicated to one person.
Right.
What I didn't realize was that she was living life like a 20-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, she's probably had sex with one of you two.
This is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Probably not me, though.
Mike, I don't know. You got that look on your face. What's your look on the face?
He's got athlete's cock.
Got athlete's cock.
Yeah, dude, they don't want me. They don't want me.
I don't know. I know an athlete. Anyway, divorce is cool, though, because...
What's so cool about divorce?
So I'll tell you why. Because when you get divorced, there's all these emotions and steps. Like you're pissed off, you're then upset, then you're guilty, then you blame her. But eventually, like, there's a wash. And it took me longer than it takes some, but it happened. There's like this wash over feeling where you suddenly realize this was the best thing that we did for each other before we got married. We gave each other a way, like, to have a second chapter of life, because you can't get divorced if only one person's wrong. And at first, I
what
blamed,
do you mean by that?
So I blamed her. The infidelity, the cheating. She cheated. There was cheating early on that I caught. There was smoke of infidelity in the middle, and then at the end, that's what did it. And then there was a whole process where I'm like, screw her. Then I was like, well, I'm the idiot, so I blame myself. But then I realized, you know what? When I stopped trusting her as the years went through, I became less of someone that wanted to even talk to her.
Sure.
So
that's all readable too, like palpable.
Right. But I mean, that's the thing is I became poison to her
Right.
as she was poison to me.
Yeah.
So instead of us having
And then
really
it
good
feeds into
communication,
itself.
and it snowballs. So instead of us having good communication, we were both just either using denial or amnesia. And that's not healthy at all.
No.
Not to be married for a long time. Not if you want to make it. You can't fucking have either one.
No, you build resentments up.
That's
and
what we did.
The things that don't go
100% what we did.
No matter how big or small they are, they build. It's just like a piece of plastic that bends. It's okay. Bends. It's okay.
Yeah.
After enough bends, that bitch is pliable. And then you're like, what happened? It doesn't seem like a big deal. It's like, well, it's the whole thing.
Yeah. So now that I have like the full 360, I'm comfortable.
Have you come out officially as gay or no?
No, I'm actually a hermaphrodite.
Oh, sick.
You know the best thing about having sex with a hermaphrodite?
Tell me.
Putting your dick in, right? And pretending the whole thing went through. I mean, it's psychological.
It does seem kind of fun, yeah.
Yeah. Like
just because it's June, I'm told the term is intersex now. I don't know if that's the fact.
Intersex?
Like, yeah.
You ever been to Germany? You ever had Wandersex?
No.
Oh my God.
Tell us about it.
So you have to have a wind-up monkey that's about this big that beats
Jesus
tambourines
Christ.
together, and you got to have a woman that's willing to hold it no matter what.
No matter what.
I can't tell you more because I signed a waiver.
Yeah. That's
But-
enough.
Thanks.
We got it there.
Yeah.
Tambourine.
But
I'd like to
wind-up
go.
monkey, so that you don't have to. I mean, she doesn't have 3 hands. She can't do the tambourine beating.
Right.
Sure.
You have to pay extra for that. Put that back on. It was-
Oh, I'll put it back on. We'll put it on the microphone.
Have you been out of the country?
Yeah.
Where to? Where's your favorite place you went?
That's tough.
That is a tough question.
I'll tell you why.
They're apples and oranges. Huh?
Yeah, no, that's tough. So I'll go from least to best. My honeymoon was in Riviera Maya, Mexico, but that was actually a lot of fun. I'm only saying worse because it's attached to someone I'm not going to share that memory with anymore. But Riviera Maya, Mexico was beautiful. Then next, obviously, we've all been to Canada. I've only been to Ontario twice. Niagara Falls is cool.
I've never even been to Canada.
Yeah, I've not been. I wish I had.
It's like right there, but I just.
I've not been out of this country. I've been to international waters, and that's it for fishing. That doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Unless you were going out there to break international law or something.
Right, sure.
That's interesting. So
It's not.
No. Ontario, you can get to Ontario drunk on a coin flip with 3 friends. What are you guys up to? What are you doing with your nights off?
Well, there's 3 of us here. I got
Is that
coins.
the city on the other side of Buffalo? What's the?
Yes, that's-
okay.
yes.
Okay, that's that one.
I have actually a really cool story of my last Ontario trip.
Let's hear it.
Let me do the country thing first, because the other ones are good. Now it gets better. So I've been to Iceland and I've been to Italy.
They're both on my list. Haven't hit.
So Iceland will be memorable forever because I went with my brother. And that was kind of like the first time him and we've done things together many times, but like that was something that it wasn't like it was it was just bonding. It was cool. We were there for 5 days, 5 nights, and we saw. I mean, he had it planned out so well that we saw fucking everything. We had a night with girls. We had, just talking. We weren't doing anything but flirting, and
playing Uno.
Yeah, playing Uno. But just a night with the people that live there, and they like I didn't know this. So Iceland doesn't export anything. Not really. The only indigenous animals there are puffins, like little birds,
little penguin type deal, right?
And there's a certain goat that grows that lives there. That is
best pussy in all of the land.
Best pussy in all of the land.
That's what I heard.
Oh yeah.
Ass pure.
But in fact, we actually took some lamb. We were allowed to put it on the plane. We brought it back here, and I did like a blueberry
the lamb
flavor.
Pussy?
Yeah, lamb pussy. I brought my mom's like, bring me back a souvenir. I brought lamb pussy. She picked me up from the airport. I had blood all over my face. It was a horrible story.
You were about to say you made blueberry something?
So I bought one that had a blueberry marinade all over the lamb. It's fucking awesome. And
sounds good.
And my brother got one that had like a lot of spices and some kind of sauce. But anyway, we brought lamb from Iceland back to our family and we dined, like men. But Iceland was cool as shit. But it was better than Rome. Rome was cool. So I didn't know this. DC copied Rome.
Really?
Washington D.C.
In
looks
what way?
as in
layout?
when you go to Rome,
Really?
it looks like an older, cooler looking version of D.C.
Wow.
Lots of pillars like that. That like I don't know how to explain it. Once you go to Rome, you realize we copied what they had done.
We copied
2000
everything. We don't have our own culture.
Yeah, but no one here
basically.
knows that.
Oh yeah.
You go somewhere else and you see what had already been done a long time before we did.
So many cultures.
Like I went to the Coliseum and I was like, this looks like where fucking the Ravens, where the Terps play. Because it's small, a little smaller, but it looks like where the Terps play. And I'm like, America saw what worked, saw what was awesome, and we copied it. I didn't know that. Once you see it, it makes a lot more sense. So, but Venice is the coolest city I've ever been in my life. I spent 3 days and 3 nights in a city without hearing one car. There's no cars.
All bicycles.
Not even that. There's no. I mean, there's a little bit. Not really, actually. The only way you can get around is walking or by gondola.
Damn.
I mean, you just like a parking, like a taxi lane. You walk out a gondola, you get in, and it's pretty cheap, but you can spend more if you want him to sing. But
did you have him sing?
No, I was with it was for Mark's my buddy's Mark. It was for his wedding, so it was all like I'm sure they did. They sat on a boat by themselves, but me, I'm with my friends. I'm not gonna have him sing. We should have had him sing. But what if he would have been so beautiful that we're in Venice and we just start blowing each other?
That'd be pretty sick.
Right? You know what I mean?
Story.
But like we get so into it, we push him off. Like he's slowing us down and we keep blowing. No music anymore.
As soon as the music stops, you guys realize how gay it is, what all you're doing.
But we don't stop.
But you
It's
never
Venice,
stop.
buddy.
You can't stop. You're in Venice.
Right.
Damn, so it's a Rome and Venice.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Rome's in the middle. Venice is at the top of the
It was a
loop.
3-hour train ride to get from Rome, or to get from Venice to Rome. But the trains there go like 180 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
So when
Bullet trains.
Yes, but when you pass another one, it's wild. You can feel the energy coming through the wall because it's 2 trains, and I mean the space is this much.
That's crazy.
So it's not
Why
like
wouldn't they make it a few feet? It's like they got the room.
Boom or some shit like.
I don't know, but I just
fucking
remember it happened about every like 20, 30 minutes. So I mean, when you fell asleep, you woke up thinking you were in a crash.
I've never even been on a train.
Really?
Mm-mm.
You ever been in one?
No. No, I've had
like
3
not even
people
the Mark train in
during
Baltimore.
sex
or whatever?
max.
What's his name? Mark? You were in a Mark train?
The
Like
Mark
the light
train?
rail?
You've been in the light rail. That's
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are talking about transportation.
I've been on the light rail. I've never had. Have you ever had a train?
I had a light rail in a train once, but I've never been on the light rail on a train.
Yeah, trains seem like complicated. The logistics,
Yeah, I've been on. I learned the light rail. There was my train stop was the art center that's right there. It's next to what's that? Lexington Market.
Howard Street. probably the Howard Street stop. I would
Maybe
assume.
it's right next to the something art center. Anyway, it was about a 8-minute walk. 7 minutes of it were fine, and the final minute, of course, all the streetlights are out. You know, and you can see someone's been throwing rocks at them. That way, people, you know, have to walk down anyway, and they can't see who the fuck's about to get them. But I only used it during the day. I wasn't stupid enough to use it at night, but I use the light rail all the time. The biggest problem with the light rail that most people don't know is if there's any kind of maintenance or the driver's just not going all the way, you have no fucking idea until it stops and you just hear a door open and the conductor just walks away. And we're all just sitting there looking at each other.
Don't we deserve an explanation?
Like that's the end of the line.
Fuck
for that
no,
train?
he doesn't go into the microphone and go, "Hey,
that's crazy.
I've got somewhere to be and Camden Yards. This is it."
This is the
I've
last stop.
sat there for 10 minutes thinking we were letting some kid in a wheelchair get on the fucking thing.
Right.
And then no kid, no wheelchair, just us. And you know, at least the AC stays on. That's why half the people on there don't leave. They don't have a ticket either. They're just trying to get out.
Trying to get a little conditioned air.
Just of relief. Yeah, they wait for it's not the police that come on. It's the transportation security
MTA,
or something.
Or
They come on and they'll throw them off. You know it's not fair. If I'm sitting next to some guy who's got a diaper full of shit, not wearing one, but like eating it, you know, because he's homeless. If he's sitting next to me and she comes by or he comes by and says ticket, he just gets to walk off. If she looks at me and says ticket, and I'm like, I don't have one. She pulls out her pen and paper. What's your driver's license? And I have a ticket coming in the mail.
Because he's clearly a crazy person?
Because he doesn't have the $11
or
that I just
got. Or, the information to give her.
Nothing. She's not going to waste her time.
Yeah.
So I actually thought about knocking a couple teeth out of my mouth.
And bringing your own diapers full of shit.
And bringing my own diaper. Not my shit.
Electrical
I'm not,
tape.
like a hot girl.
Electrical tape, you don't have to actually knock them out. They'll just look. You know what I mean? You could just like make it look like a movie. Just like kind of make it look like you've knocked them a couple out.
Electrical tape's awesome.
Black
you can
tape.
actually make yourself look like a woman with electrical tape.
Can you?
Yeah, you do it all the time. You know how many times my penis has been in the hot dog buns? Behind me?
Yeah, right.
What do you think I'm doing right now? I thought this was a different kind of couch.
He's got it tucked in the
If
back.
it was black leather, I'd be right with you. But like, I
Told you, dude. Nah, green velvet. You're missing.
Green velvet.
Green velvet.
Listen, I've been sheltered, and I'm trying to change that.
We're gonna break him out of his shell.
You've been sheltered, huh?
I have. I've been trying to fix it, but like, you know, what can you do? I got
Who sheltered you?
My parents, to a point, you know, and then I did everything I could to break out of it.
I think you're doing a good job thus far.
I don't know that I am.
You're in the right room if that's your goal.
I'm trying to be a better human.
Wrong room.
I need to have experiences to do that.
Yeah.
When we met, did we meet officially on the bachelor party?
No, so I'd met you, but like
prior.
I met you, I knew of you. So this is why it was a little different. Like on that bachelor party with that group, everyone in that group I kind of known since like kids.
Yeah.
You know that there was a lot of like there was a couple elementary school kid friends, a lot of middle school, a lot of high school.
Grew up together.
Right. So it was easy for me to be just super comfortable, but I knew you, and plus, I mean, if you know you're a friend of the family, you know, then you're a friend of mine. So it wasn't like I didn't know you, but I definitely in the shower. Love that.
No, he's pissed. He's gotta be.
No, I know.
In the shower.
Yeah.
That's where he likes to go. He feels comfortable in there.
Like what you thought I thought first. He's just showering. Getting ready. So, but so on the way to the bachelor party, how do we even start this story?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we were headed to a bachelor party to go to Nashville, and we had 2 trailers, 2 RVs.
Yeah, one was a fifth wheel. The other one was the one that I rented, or that me and my other brother rented.
The fifth wheel is the one that you don't drive, or that you do.
No, the fifth wheel is the one that drags. The other one's the one you drive.
So yeah, so we had two RVs going down to this bachelor party, and
do you know the story?
I do not.
One of the ones that you drive behind, and then one of the ones that you pull behind a vehicle, and one of the ones that you pull behind a vehicle ended up fishtailing, flipping on the way down to the bachelor party.
Anyone in it?
No one was in that.
You can't. You're not allowed to be in a. So we're
You're
all
allowed
in.
to. That doesn't mean people doesn't. You know what
We
I mean?
did discuss it.
Oh, good.
We
good,
did discuss
good, good.
getting in it.
It would have been. It would have been murder.
Yeah.
So the guy that volunteered to drive the fifth wheel, right? It was the one that no one wanted to drive because it's harder. No one wanted to really drive either one because if you're the driver, you're just the one not having a good time. But no one wanted to drive the fifth wheel. So the person that did volunteer, he actually had a resume, which is what made him the driver. He not only volunteered, he's like, I drive these for a living. We're like, fuck yeah. You serious? He's like, yeah, it's nothing. I used to do it all the time. I still do it. Or he had a camp. It was something that made him the expert of the group, right?
Yeah.
So it be told. We get about, I don't know what state we're in, about West Virginia, I suppose. We're on whatever interstate that goes sideways, not 66, but something, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or were we on 95 at this point? Who knows? We're on a major highway.
Yeah.
But we weren't stopping because we had a bathroom. So we didn't need to. They had to keep stopping so that because the people in the truck, there were like 11 of us in the RV playing drinking games, having fun, and then 4 people, looking out the window in the other car. And, but they're having their own fun. So because we didn't have to stop to piss, every time they did, they lost 15 minutes, maybe 20. So the driver decided to make up time. And now I'm using his words because I couldn't believe he told me what he told me. I would have denied this to the end. I said, so he decided he wanted to catch up to us. And he drove so fast, he flipped the fifth wheel. We're talking a 25-foot long RV, covered both sides of the highway, and it skidded plenty far, destroyed, and the RV belonged to my cousin. So he volunteered to bring his RV. We only rented one; the other one belonged to my family member, and so it got completely destroyed.
The fire department had to come cut it off of the tow hitch.
They had to saw it off.
Had to come grind the fucking thing off.
The interstate was shut down like fucking until the next day.
It was something, dude.
They ended up meeting us like 6 hours later. And I told him, I said, what the fuck? I'm like, how did you do that? He's like, I was trying to catch up to you guys. I'm like, how fast were you going? I would have lied. This is where you lie. You say 60, but a deer came in front of me.
Sure.
He said 90 miles an hour. I said, you've got you do that. You've done this for a living, or you do it for a living, and you got 4 people in the car, and you're driving 90 miles an hour. I couldn't believe they lived.
What happened though?
You should have
Did
seen
he
the
hit
truck.
A bump, and it was
think
one
it
of
just
those
started
ball and,
fishtailing.
like,
No,
sockets
it
that
reacted
came
to a
off?
90 mile an hour fucking drive.
Right.
It's not meant to. One wobble at 90 miles an hour will. Now that the tail wags the dog.
And like
Right.
okay, I don't know enough about this. I know about speed wobbles on a skateboard. Is it like
Similar,
that?
yeah,
You go
once it
so
starts,
fast, it
yeah.
just can't support itself, and it just like, what happened? Like,
Well, like
did he
he's
get
saying,
bumped?
all you need is a tiny little catalyst. So whatever that little catalyst is at 90 miles an hour,
Yeah,
is
it's too much to
amplified.
compensate for.
Yeah.
Like,
Because now you're going left, and then you overcompensate the right, and now the whole thing. Now it's you can't come out of it no
Right.
matter what you do.
it's a normal cup and ball joint or whatever the fuck they call them, where it's just like a ball
I
in the
think
back
so.
of the truck, and then I don't know, because
I
a
don't
bump
remember.
would just, if
It
it's
didn't
not secure
detach.
right-
It ripped. It
didn't
ripped the
detach.
truck.
Oh
It
shit!
twisted. So the
Yeah.
bed. So if this is the bed looked like this, connected to the cab.
Oh,
It was
Because it
tough.
didn't come off.
Fuck,
It just,
dude.
yeah, that's why they had to cut it off. But we were going to a campground. The campground was nice. They gave him a free cabin.
Oh yeah, so that was the cool part. So we had 2 spots reserved.
2 RV spots for this campground.
Once we called them and said, "Hey, so everyone's alive, but we lost half of our mobile homes. What can we do? Can we rent a cabin?" They're like, "Look, we'll just give the RV. We'll open up the lot to another RV, and in compensation, we'll give you a cabin." That was really cool of them to do. So
yeah. Shout out to that campground.
That opened up. I think it was 2 bunk beds, so that let 10 of us sleep together while the other 3 had the other RV.
Mm-hmm.
wow, no one was hurt.
No, nope, not a soul.
That's awesome. 'Cause
Yeah,
the way
we
it
lived.
Sounds is like what the like. It's
That
a
was
huge
only-
piece
There
of
was another
fucking
car
equipment.
crash, or another. That was only the first crash. That was the worst one.
Oh fuck!
JH fucking he crashed the one that was still working into an Exxon gas pump, fucked that up, and we drove off.
Yeah.
You should have seen. I was the one that had to bring the RV back to the guy that we rented it. I think it was in Harrisonville. Anyway, so I brought the RV back to the guy, and he was smart. He did 3 circles, and I mean, he's looking up and down. He goes, "What the hell?" And I look, and I mean, RVs are built like tanks, so you got to hit something kind of hard to put a dent in what I looked at. And I told him, like, it was an accident. It really was. It wasn't even alcohol related. It just was a big vehicle to drive. So, I had to pay. I had to get yelled at by a stranger for that. I almost told him, like, "You're not my boss. We're not friends. I'll pay you, but I'm not gonna stand here and get berated."
Yeah, some people take liberties with that.
But I'm at the same time, what am I gonna get off intimidating an old guy?
Yeah.
Everything.
Literally everything will make me feel alive. But yeah, Nashville was tight. That was my first and only time there, I think. Have you been back?
Well, that was my second time. The first time I went was with 13 people in an RV.
Really?
Well, that's what inspired when we were trying to figure out what to do. I threw out there. I said, in 2005, I went to Nashville with 12 friends. We all had Ravens jerseys. Went for a Ravens Titans game, and we did exactly that. We had a RV camper spot. Spent the whole weekend in Nashville. It was so much fun, and I thought a bachelor party would be that on steroids. So
Yeah.
we kind of recreated something I had done, but this one was way better. This was even more fun.
Yeah, it was sick. I don't remember a lot of it, which doesn't surprise me.
Oh, so, well, I feel like I'm doing a lot. Am I talking too much?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, because I'm about to make another drink.
You're not talking too much.
Well, my
at all.
question, you guys both went to Nashville, this thing. Is it all country music, or do they have any, like, is it eclectic there? Like, you got rock, you got other stuff, or is it just...
They got some other
There's
shit.
a Hard Rock
Sure.
Cafe that's enormous, but it's country. It's all
just
country.
yeah.
All
That's fine.
half
I
the
don't
people
like
walking
that,
around have
but-
cowboy hats. Girls, boys.
It's like cosplay.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it is.
cosplaying as a cowboy.
All the girls have
cowgirl.
cowgirl hats and Daisy Dukes, and all the guys have hard-ons and cowboy hats.
While I hate country music, country girls, dude, cowgirl,
Mm-hmm.
god damn it.
You ever had reverse horseboy? It's the same as reverse cowgirl.
No, I don't think so.
Try
Tell me more.
it. Live a little.
Yeah, dude.
He was sheltered.
Get
he
out
said
there.
it.
I am
Yeah,
sheltered,
you said you were
dude.
sheltered.
I am. I gotta
So
work
how
on
about this? We were only there we left on day 4. Day 2, so you have 3 days to really throw down. Justin and I had really totally like everyone was, when you have that many personalities in a group, everyone's kind of like playing off each other. There's a lot of just bouncing around. So I don't remember how hungover, why you were reluctant to leave the RV. I know I was just,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
probably hungover.
I'm a little older than the crowd, than the rest of the group by
I get
a
hungover
few years.
bad.
So my hangover was a little worse than everyone else's. But I was like, and you were in the RV, and I was like, I got a bottle of Jameson.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got plenty of. He's like, I got plenty of grass. I was like, all right, so tell me something I don't know. Dude, like fucking 6 hours later, the bottle's gone. All the 2 joints destroyed, and we waxed philosophical stuff.
Yeah, we went all over the
I mean, we
place.
were all over the place, but it was fun because I don't usually get that kind of conversation with people. Don't get me wrong, I have great conversation with any kind of people. Like, I'll have your conversation. It's always a nice treat when someone's having a conversation that I can not like. I don't go, okay, well then this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I can just,
or it's just like the same sports talk or the
Whatever.
same, yeah.
So after that, we fell in love.
Yeah, we've been lovers ever since.
Yeah, lovers ever since.
Did you watch the debate? Who you voting for? What's going on with that? Did you a political guy?
I didn't watch the debate because I was working. Not a political person at all. I've never voted. I don't care who wins. That's what I've always said. Now this is the first time in my life, so I don't care. I just don't care. When I was a bartender, people hated me because you always get the guests that sit down and they start talking politics to the bartender, and
That's gotta suck.
you can placate them, which I used to do, and they give you a little bit of a better tip, and you don't know what to say, but if they say something, you say something similar, and they think you're educated on it. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Neither do I. But then I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to be honest. So I let people go. I just let them go. I don't even make a face. I don't roll my eyes. I'm like,
You don't give your opinion.
Huh,
You just let them
nothing.
go.
But what I learned is that infuriates them more. I
Right.
learned that bartending.
They're trying to figure you out.
Well,
They wanna know
so
where you
when
stand.
so we're in a very red town, right? So I bartended at the Roadhouse for years. Before my current job and after my last career job. And I was there for about a year and a half. And you get all these people, and it was always Trump. You know, they're like, God, could you imagine voting for Biden? I'm like, I couldn't imagine voting. And they're like,
Nice.
so what does that mean? You didn't vote for Trump, or
Nice.
you do like Trump? I'm like, I don't like either one of them. I don't give a fuck who's president. And that makes them more mad because it confuses them. So the simple-minded people, they only have
wanna
like
put
you're
you
either
in a
with me or
box.
against me.
Yeah.
But when you confuse them, they get more angry than either one.
Because you're a question mark.
Well,
in their
because
head.
they already have pre-programmed things to say if you're against them,
Or if
and,
you're for them.
and right. But if you give them something that they're not prepared to handle, they're confused, and now you've made them angry, but in a way that they can't really find.
They don't
so
even know how to deliver what they want to deliver.
Exactly. So I was not helping myself. I was in the business of making money.
Yeah, but
like
you
tits.
weren't helping them.
Right. But I mean, I had every reason to say what you wanted me to say.
Right.
But I almost became, it's a borderline nihilism. Like you think nihilism is so much easier than it looks. Like to not give a fuck about politics. And I don't mean that I don't care what happens to me. I just don't think I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, oh, so you're just independent. No, I'm not anything. I drive to work. What is that called? Where's that? I'll vote for that. Hey, do you drive to work? Vote. Yep. You know, like that's as easy. That's as hard as my decision making goes. Voting on somebody that doesn't know me, that sounds fucking stupid.
And then you don't know them.
And I don't know them.
No one knows these people that are running for office.
Yeah.
We know what they're presenting.
Like I've been to bikini contests, right, where I didn't scream once, and I knew who got me hard. Like I knew it, but I'm like, why
Not giving them
scream?
anything.
Yeah, you did your job, or you didn't. I didn't scream at the ones that you know
Right.
had one breast but survived. You know,
Did we get out to the strip club in Nashville?
Yeah.
We must have.
oh yeah,
Love that.
I can't.
They all blend together. All
Were
the
they
bachelor
bottomless?
parties and all that.
Because I'm going to New Orleans soon, and they're basically they all have bottoms there for whatever reason.
They weren't. So I went to two of them. I know I was at one with you, but there was one I know I wasn't with you because it was just four of us, counting me. And they were cool. But when they turn the lights out that dark and the body armor is skin colored and you're drunk, you know, it's the same.
Yeah, it's all kind of turns into the same, huh?
You have a VR set on. You know, you're in the zone no matter what.
It won't be long. You think AI is going to take over the world or what?
What makes you think it didn't?
Yeah, no, I think
What
it
makes
did.
you think when you get hit by a bus, you're not going to sit up and take some goggles off and be some blue guy?
Shouldn't we be able to use AI to
Right,
make
exactly.
another
I think we
candidate
are in a
look
simulation.
appealing?
Huh?
About outside of the ones we have, like if AI is as powerful as it is, we should be able to use it to like make one of the third party candidates for president more appealing, to like give him the chance, like an actual chance that not one of the two party system. I don't know. I'm saying I'm just trying to change.
Maybe.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I just don't think that.
We did the GameStop thing with the fucking the stocks. Like, can't we all come together and be like, look, it's all bullshit. Let's just get a third guy, and then once that guy comes in and fails, we can just rip this whole system out and do something that makes sense.
But
where
you
there's, like-
can't. But you can't because you can't give the GameStop thing. You can't give a third guy because it's like there's no real guy. It's like an AI proposed person, or what do you mean? Like it's a real person that AI
Well, there's a
proposed?
bunch of other people that are candidates for president, right? We don't really just have the Republican and the Democrat. You got the Green, the
Right.
Independent, the Libertarian,
RFK,
the whatever the
whatever
fuck.
he
Yeah, you're an RFK person. Exactly. So, like, let's just do this thing where
Only-
we just get this
Only
outside.
two sides have ever won anything.
Hmm?
The problem though is if you pay attention to history and use history to determine what's going to
Sure.
happen, that's never happened before.
I know it hasn't, but we also have never had the internet the way it is now before either. So like if we all come together in the same way where like they were able to short GameStop, like I said, like
Well, the
that
problem
was
is
just like
Hitler tried this, but we killed him for it.
Yeah, but what was he? He wasn't like he was doing a weird thing where it was like a master
Being a
race,
hero?
master plan, like it was like a
A weird
one-way thing. I'm just trying to take away what we've made as basically a masterclass and master, because it's a one way. You have one way to get to the presidency, and it's Republican or
The
Democrat.
thing with the GameStop thing is that the GameStop thing worked because there were so many old hedge fund owning squares who were shorting the stock.
I'm stupid. I don't really know.
So basically, what I was saying is it wasn't that
enlighten me.
everyone wasn't on the same page. Wall Street was fucked there, right? Because the layman won. But to get the politicians to be fucked, it would have to be every layman. You know.
I also feel like Trump won when he won because it was like the opposite of what we've had forever. Like it was like
the thing
almost like a fuck you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
the problem is it wasn't the opposite. It's the same
Grab
game.
him by the pussy is pretty opposite.
It's not though.
From everything
it's
we've
the same
heard
game.
from her.
Yeah. It's a
He's
different
saying,
look.
It's the same thing that's always happened.
It's the same thing.
It's just someone was willing to
It
say
just
it.
seems like
That's
it's
fair.
it seems like it's a fuck you to the system, but he's a part of the system. It's just like I know that he's not maybe as a part. It's all once you're at that level, it's just just all just hidden behind bureaucratic bullshit and like talking points.
Yeah.
They're not saying nothing, you know.
We need to get an independent up there, and just one time.
They
And if it
run,
just- if
but
it
no one-
works,
I mean,
then
they
cool.
try.
If it doesn't, then like whatever.
They
fine.
try to get up there.
I know they do, but like they need everyone. They literally need everyone to be like on their for what you know what I mean. It has to be a conspiracy. Like we literally have to, as a country, have a conspiracy
We have
to
to
get
conspire.
a different person to be elected president.
I think you should run.
I'm too
I've
dumb.
met you. I'll vote for you.
I'll vote for you.
I appreciate that,
So-
guys. That's shit, dude. Fuck.
It's like when the president,
Honestly, I
they
should-
have him going to they'll do walks in factories or in places. It's like, what is the president doing here? It's just showing face,
Being on
acting
television.
Like, yeah, exactly. It just all seems so see through to me, you know. It blows my mind that it's not the people, but then they say that I'm dumb. They're like, you just don't know enough. You know, it really does affect you. Blah blah blah. I'm sure you've had those talks.
Oh, 100%. It's part of the reason I love drinking is it dumbs me down to be amongst the people. And that's not me actually even being like fucking like above anything. Like I'm not like I'm an idiot. I've made stupid moves all through life. I have a track record of showing I'm not incredibly smart. But socially speaking, I don't understand why people think their opinion matters, but they do, and I know they do. I've been in the service industry for too many years to not realize it, and in a way, if you recognize it, you can take advantage of it, just like politicians do. I mean, I don't take advantage of it in a way that would hurt someone, but I can be in a room like if you two were Asian schoolgirls, well, never mind. Everything would look exactly the same. I've my core group of friends, but I can hang out with any group of friends, and I'll be more quiet at first, just to gauge how it goes, and then I'll pander almost. Maybe that's not the right word, but I'll adapt to how they're behaving because I can. If they came into my group of friends,
We gotta fix
is my zipper magnetic?
what's happening.
If right, I'm not touching.
If
Just keeps jumping on.
Yeah, well, hey, it's a hot mic.
Yeah, seriously.
But like if someone from that group came in and sat at that bachelor party, for instance, they'd be uncomfortable. Could they adapt? Could they
Right.
switch? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. How do you think you got that? Those social skills to be a chameleon.
I think you're either born. Ooh, good question. I was about to say you're born intelligent or not, but that's not exactly true because intelligent people, there's stupid people. There's stupid people that are rich, and there's intelligent people that aren't.
I remember finding that out at a certain age. Because you think like, all right, the more you do school, the better you are in like, collegiate stuff, the more money you'll make. And then you see that that's not the case someday. And you're like, oh.
It's a whole thing.
This whole thing
it
isn't
all
real.
comes together, right? So like you can be great at school, but then be shitty at the social shit, and so you can't network, and so you don't get the spots that you should. Then, oppositely, you play lacrosse. You go to a college. You're playing a dead end sport. No offense, right? But you're gregarious. So now you are good at fucking networking. Now you're fucking leading a fucking. You're right under the CEO of some fucking major. Like it's, I don't know. The world's crazy. Be nice to people. Literally.
I actually agree with that
make
100%.
friends.
If
Yeah.
I make all the jokes in the world, but I'm in a career right now where like I'll have days off where I feed homeless. Like the job provides me that. It enables me to do good in the community, and it's like I'll
That's
make.
tight.
Yeah, I mean 100%. Like I mean I personally have driven a truck, a big giant, like the kind of big giant UPS trucks you see, and drove all through Annapolis on Christmas last year, or three or 4 days before Christmas, and went to a bunch of neighborhoods, and people on the corners we had a Santa with us. He'd come out, say hi to all the kids, and then the families would give us a present. I had the van filled, drove it to a
I'd be like, PS5 or get the fuck out.
yeah, right. Yeah, good point. I should have had a metal detector. I should have robbed these motherfuckers. So, but anyway, so we took all the toys and we and Santa. We dropped Santa off back at the homeless shelter where he belongs, and then we took all the toys to some rich guy, and we made a whole shitload of money.
Santa thinks he's Santa all year round.
Yeah.
It's just some guy who thinks he's actually Santa Claus.
Yeah. Who do you think would win in a fist fight, Santa or Easter Bunny? You got to remember, Santa's got magic, but Easter Bunny can kick the fucking heart out of you.
I think Easter Bunny.
Yeah?
What? Why?
The Easter Bunny is as big as a person, right?
Bigger.
But has all the muscles of a bunny.
Right.
And yeah, I think that the way they're jumping
good point.
around, the way athletic and agile, and
Yeah, but like, tell me exactly.
Santa's fat, out of shape.
Yeah, but Santa
old.
doesn't Santa have the ability to? No, Santa is a shapeshifter. That's how he gets down the chimney.
He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. I don't know if he knows much more after that.
The
My
Easter Bunny's
question,
got
though-
bread though.
But like, what's up with the eggs? Because like, are you saying like you're a female bunny that lays? Like, there's an egg thing with the bunnies. I don't really understand Easter because it's weird as fuck.
I don't know.
Is
what
that
the
where like
reasoning
Jesus
is.
came back from the
Bunnies don't lay eggs.
I don't think
Right,
so.
exactly. Do
Wait,
not?
they don't?
I don't know.
No.
I'm pretty sure they don't, but like at the same
No,
time,
they
like,
don't fucking lay eggs.
what are we doing? I don't know. That's what they say, so like maybe they fucking do.
It's
Yeah.
the day Jesus came back. The
Have
egg
you ever watched an
represents
Easter bunny get
something.
birth?
I have
I've
not.
not.
Or a
so
bunny, I
I'm
mean?
not gonna sit here and say.
What if
one
they
way or
lay
the other.
fucking eggs?
Exactly. I mean, there's a platypus,
What if they do-
right? That's a bird that fucking has a tail and I don't know. It does all this weird shit that's not bird-like. I don't know what. I don't know.
Let's get in. Let's hold on a second. I was thinking about this the other day. I actually I zoned out while I was showering. Is the egg that comes out of a chicken coming out of its ass, or does it have a
That's
vagina?
a good question.
I think it's called a coacula or coacula.
Interesting. Because I mean,
you
the
look it
same
up?
way that a fallopian tube is right by the asshole of a woman,
Can
like
you
if
look
they're
it
right.
up? It's CLOACA, cloaca, and it's a hole that they piss, shit, and come and reproduce out of.
Holy hell!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you could look up cloaca, I don't know that chickens have it, but I know certain animals do.
Like John Benet Ramsey right before she died.
What does it say?
Cloaca.
I might have to take that one out.
All right. Cloaca is the rear orifice that serves as the only
Rear
opening
orifice.
for the digestive, reproductive, and urinary tracts, if present, of many
So it's
vertebrate
one hole for
animals.
all the things.
Dude, I mean, it just says many vertebrate animals. It doesn't even just say
Tell you
all
which ones.
amphibians, reptiles, birds, and a few mammals. Blah blah blah. Golden moles, monotremes.
So I wonder if chickens have it. Do chickens have a cloaca?
marsupial moles all have this orifice,
So I think they come out of there.
from which they both excrete urine and feces. And in this contrast to most mammals, they have 2 or 3 separate orifices for evacuation and reproduction. Too
I'm
many
glad we
holes,
have a few.
man. I mean, Jesus.
Holes?
Yeah.
A lot of holes.
Yeah.
A lot of holes.
To do everything out of one would be a lot, you know?
It'd be taxing.
And again, women have multiple, and I still try to fuck all of them, you know? It's not like I'm not trying to get in one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell the difference.
Why don't we have something that would like? Why would our cum and urine be coming through the same thing? Wouldn't you think that it should have separate tracks or something? Like,
I mean, look, if I was designing it, I wouldn't
Seems
have the
weird.
balls hanging outside my body. I'd have them tucked up in there somewhere next to me.
protected.
Yeah. but
Protected,
we
yeah.
did design it.
Because like it's a bad design. So either God's bad at designing shit,
Well,
or
I don't
there is-
know.
or there
I
is
think
no
you're in the
God.
perfect spot. I disagree with you on this.
Oh yeah,
Where else would you put them? Inside?
inside of you. so they're
That
not
makes you.
just-
Then you're a woman.
Well, they're not ovaries. They're still balls. They just don't happen to be hanging from you. They're just like
Yeah,
tucked
but
in.
would you really want to? If you pulled your pants and underwear down, and your penis and balls were in your body, and a woman pulled her pants down, and her ovaries and uterus were
penis
in her
stays
body.
out.
Knowing
penis
what I
out.
know,
Yeah,
and
penis
it's
out,
not a
balls
lot.
in.
The temperature at which your balls are kept matters to whether or not you are what is it? You're gonna have kids or not. Like apparently, if
It's-
you keep them hot. or
Okay, so
something,
this is related.
you know what I mean. So
Would you rather have your balls inside, which I know you do,
I just think you can't regulate the
but the
heat.
woman, but
it
but
might matter.
the way nature works is the inverse reaction. Women's ovaries hang like balls. Which one's better?
I mean, I
Ours.
like more things to play with.
Now,
Ours.
yeah. See, so what?
But I'm
what are we
being
talking
selfish. I'm being selfish in that
Okay,
I
okay.
don't want weird shit hanging. I don't want any weird shit hanging from anyone. But if it's gonna be hanging from someone, I mean, fuck it. I'll take that. I'll take that for you.
about? Yeah,
You don't have to have that, lady.
that makes you a gentleman.
You are a
in a
gentleman.
one way
I'm a
or another.
scholar.
I don't know about that, but thank you.
You're something like it.
I gotta learn to be better at
Right.
taking fucking.
You're showing
compliments.
all the signs of chivalry.
You're
I gotta
something like
admit.
Jesus Christ.
If you could get paid for every back shot you took, how many would you take?
How much am I getting?
$100 for every
For
back
each one?
shot. Yeah.
Forever, unlimited.
Yeah, just not stop.
Yeah, not until I'm a millionaire.
Right. It's either
The
0
fuck?
or all.
Back
of them,
shot?
Right? Yeah.
Do I have to work them up?
I mean, I don't. Good question.
Let's be clear, because I asked this to a coworker and he wasn't sure what I
If
meant.
I don't have to work them up,
I also wasn't sure what I meant. Like, is it you mean it's one thrust of
Yeah, I
being
think so.
inside of someone, or is it them
Sex.
coming on you? Like, is
No, I
like,
think
you know what I
it's
mean?
just.
Like,
I think it's just the thrust.
what did you hear it as when you heard him say back shot?
just some guy who's about to come walks up and goes, "Pull your fucking shirt up under your chin," and I spin around and he's got $100
He
bill in one
comes
hand
on you.
and a money shot in the other.
Oh, he is coming.
See, that's the
Interesting. When I
thing.
hear back shot, I just think
You think someone's
Oh
getting
no, I thought you
thrusted,
meant coming on the
so,
back.
Yeah,
no.
you
I
have
mean
to take
insert. Yeah. like
Okay, we need to
inserting.
change this
Oh,
question.
so
up
now
a
my
little bit.
answer
Some
changes a little bit.
people-
Free.
My man, dude. Listen, you're gonna do gay shit. I mean, you
Do
either
it
do
all
it
the
for the
way.
love
No,
of the
wait.
game,
Ask the question again.
or
I'll
for
give
a
you the
lot
real
of
answer.
money, you know?
If you were to get $100 per back shot, how many would you take?
No, 0.
It's 0 or a lot, right? You have to do
Yeah,
one.
yeah. You
or
went
the
way.
other.
You went way under. If you're gonna change me, like change who I think I am as a human being,
But
I
see,
gotta. It's gonna cost
honestly,
you.
they're
Yeah.
both valid questions. How many people would you let come on you for $100? Like
At
honestly,
once or in general.
who
Come on.
cares, right? It's like it
Yeah.
sucks. It's weird if you tell someone if they know.
But then where if they come on
weird.
your face,
I don't.
that
if-
makes it
if-
worse.
If no one knows but me,
that makes
Yeah,
it
face-
worse.
it's,
It's
probably
different.
good for your skin at the end of the
Face
day.
is
Who
rough.
knows?
It
I
is
don't
good
know.
for your skin.
Oh, I see. And even if it's not, I'll let
You know how many
him-
pimples I've
I'll
gotten
let
rid of
him,
on
like,
girls?
say that, and it's like a placebo.
None.
I'll think it's good for my skin, and it's like it's good. It's good. It's good. That's how we do. That's how life works.
This is like the most romantic thing I've ever been a part of.
It's
I don't
it's,
know
it's
what this
special,
is.
is what it is, dude. I got in a car accident yesterday, so I'm sore and like high on muscle relaxers. So
Could you
if
tell?
I'm a little wonky.
How,
dude,
how,
you've been
how'd the
pretty
accident
good.
happen?
Okay. I was sitting at a red light and someone ran into the back of me pretty hard.
You said
Sober?
you were moving though,
I was sober, yeah.
No,
or you were not moving.
no.
at
The
wasn't
all?
person,
moving.
the person that hit you, were they sober?
I don't know. I think so. They were acting very strange, but I don't know if they were high, drunk, in shock from the accident. I mean, both cars were totaled.
It's totaled.
Mm-hmm.
They totaled their car too.
Oh, yeah.
They hit the fucking hell out of you, and you were to stop,
Yeah, dead stop.
and only your legs hurt.
No, my back and neck hurts. My
Yeah.
legs ain't even that bad, but yeah, I'm sore as hell. Feels like I got a car accident, you know?
Cops come,
Yeah.
and they were cited, right?
I guess so. They separated us kind of. They're like, we'll get with you in a minute. We'll deal with her. So
Yeah, they do that so that they don't have to be basically the counselor,
right, they're not trying to mediate.
right?
What could there be a bit like your brakes were so good, you stopped so fast, and you were at a dead stop before she had time? Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
what?
If you were to stop and she hit you, you're good. You need a.
Well,
what have you done? Like in terms of recovery financially, like have you called your insurance?
I've called
Did you
all
get
the
their
insurances.
insurance?
I've done all of it.
Because
dude.
your insurance will call theirs, so you shouldn't
Yeah,
have to
I've
worry
done
about
all of it. It's been a pain in the ass. And
Yep.
now my tools are in my truck, which is at the tow yard. The insurance company is dragging their feet about getting the truck from there to an auto repair shop. but they won't let me get my tools out of it. They're like, until the bill's paid, you can't come get the tools. And I'm like, they're mine. It's my possessions.
They won't let you through the gate.
Nope. I was about to leave with a charge, bro. I was mad as hell. I'm like, I haven't even done anything wrong. I was sitting at a red light, got hit. I didn't tell y'all to come tow me. The cops got the car towed to you guys. I'm not even asking for the car. I just need my tools to go so I can work. They're like, well, there's a bill to pay. I'm like, well, that's between the insurance and y'all.
You ought to
Firebomb them?
No, I would ask for their supervisor and ask for an escort to your car. If you ask for an escort to your car from the supervisor, I mean, they're not allowed to steal your car. They are allowed to keep it in possession until it's been settled, but the property inside of the car still belongs to you.
Right.
So
She's like, oh, it's policy.
I'd call and say, well, let me talk to your boss. And you talk to them, you say, you know, what hours do you work? Can I come in while you're working? And can you just walk me to my car? They'll have your keys in their hand.
That's what got
They're
me.
They're not going to let
like,
you leave.
Yeah, she's like, I can't. I'm like, you can. It's literally just hit the button. I'll go back there and grab my tools. I'll be gone. But she made a whole big thing out of it, talking about how she couldn't do it.
To their point, and I'm not, in this case, they're wrong.
I need to hear it.
The reason they do that is they don't get a police report. For all they know, you hit somebody and you're trying to get the fucking evidence to a body shop as fast as you can, or anything.
Yeah.
You are if you were in the wrong and you got to your car and had the ability to change evidence, they wouldn't know that you were actually the one that got hit. They would those things don't talk to each other.
Right.
Tow truck companies and cops aren't in alliance.
Yeah.
So you have to work with them on a customer service level, not as a like this is my right, this is my property, this is my. They don't give a fuck because they've got law behind them.
Yeah, she's like, I've been doing this for 15 years. I'm
yeah,
like, well, you've been a cunt for 15 years.
So, but like on a customer service level, as a person, you can explain it. They might not even. You could be lying, but if you explain it and say, "Can you just come with me to the car?" They'll probably pull out their phone and videotape you taking your tools out. Won't matter.
Yeah.
But I would actually say, look, I can show you proof of insurance. I can, because you can pull up proof of insurance.
Yeah, I have the police report. I have proof of insurance. Both of us.
I'll show all that to you before we walk into the yard.
Yeah.
And then you show it to them. They'll be like, all right, you are who you are. Now we know who you are. We got everything on you. If you screw us over, you're in more trouble. So obviously you're not in it to get fucked.
Yeah, it's like they got, here's my license, here's my everything. I mean,
Give me your phone. I'm gonna fix this right now.
They're closed. It was 11:31 when she was finally trying to concede her point, and I'm like, all right, well, let me back there to get them. And she's like, well, actually, it's closed now. She's like, we're here till 12, but the thing closed at 11:30. I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
12 noon?
Yeah, on a Saturday.
So you have to buy a new car.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Yeah, it would be nice if I could get some insurance money to do that with, which I will, but it'll take a little bit.
So this is a way too soon question, but what are you thinking about getting?
I'll probably get another Xterra. It was nice. It's SUV, but I was able to work out of it. It wasn't quite a work van.
What year was that thing?
That was an 08.
Oh, fuck. Okay. It got some age on it. That's cool, at least. I mean, well, assuming that you get something out of it, which obviously you fucking should.
I'd like to get my tools out of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a good start. It's a good start. You got any jobs coming up that you fucking need them now?
Dude, yeah, I needed them today and tomorrow, and I need them. I'm losing money constantly. That's why I was trying to tell her. I'm a master electrician. I'm losing money every minute that they're in there.
Dude, and it's like, I know you guys want us to be like good human beings and not fucking criminals that will fucking do shitty shit, but like, fuck.
Make it easier.
Like, as much, just talk to each other. He's a victim. He's a fucking victim.
Yeah, and then be a human too. Just be a human being for a second. Let me grab.
You're gonna sell his shit so that you can make up. That's me projecting. I assume they want to keep your shit to sell it. That way, if you don't pay, they can fucking, then they recoup their losses, which aren't even really losses, because it's like, how much does it cost to tow a car when you already own the tow thing?
And
it's
storage fees and bullshit.
Well, I've always been mesmerized by the fact that you can, like towing is a weird anomaly in American like civil society, because it's the one thing that you haven't broken a law. You haven't broken a law, right? Haven't broken a law. Something can come and pick up your property. Unless you own a house, it's one of the most expensive things that you own. They're allowed to steal it, because stealing is when you take something from somebody that doesn't belong to you without them knowing about it or consenting to it. Steal it, store it, and then extort you an endless amount of money for you to get it back. And if you call the police and said, I parked somewhere that didn't have a sign, I got towed, and the police say, well, they have an HVA, or they have a what is it called? Homeowners insurance or homeowners association. And apparently you park somewhere where you can't, and you say, well, I want to dispute that. Well, you have to dispute it with them. Well, it doesn't matter. They stole my car.
Terrible.
I want to file a report for theft. Well, you can't report a theft on tow truck companies. What the fuck? So you can steal my most
qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity, and there's nothing. Not only is there nothing you can do about it, it gets more expensive every 24 hours that you don't do anything about it. It's extortion to the max. It's the only thing that's allowed to happen like that. Name one other thing you could take from me because you work for Papa John's or Enterprise. Any job that because your job allows you to physically pick something up that's mine. Let's say you work for a company that builds armor for arms that makes your arms stronger. So you just come over and you just pick up my boat. And you just take it to your house. And you're like, you got to give me $100 a day or I'm going to fucking keep it. Hey, cops, they just stole my boat. They're charging me $100 a day. Hey, he's got metal arms. That's how they work. What the fuck? That doesn't seem fair. I had no choice. I had nothing to say about it. You can't help me.
That's what's so frustrating about it. It seems backwards. It's
and
like,
then you can't get to work. So the very thing that you need to do to get the money to get it out, you're now fucking handicapped twice. It compounds.
Look, I have to stop this episode. Okay. Thank you for coming. I love you. Appreciate you.
Love you too, buddy.
We'll have to get another one in when I'm feeling a little better. I'm gonna throw up.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I've been fighting this sweat.
Oh, all right.
For the last 20 minutes.
Who needs you? Now I'm just gonna sing.
If this doesn't work, I'll kill myself.
Damn.